Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at BellisioFoods.com/careers.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you.
Well, hi, welcome, and here's our guest. Welcome. Hello. Welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV, and we are going to continue on our quest for healthiness this week as we had the heart doctor on yesterday, and today we're going to talk about, well, fitness, and I don't mean fitness Big Mac in your mouth, I mean like actual fitness.
Temple Fitness is going to present Hamden Strongest this weekend at Hamden, Ohio. Pretty excited about it.
That's exactly right. Well, first off, tell everybody who you are, and then we're going to get into detail about some of this crazy stuff that you guys do.
Awesome. My name is Ralph Henneman, and I am the owner/trainer at Temple Fitness in Wellston, 2 doors down from McDonald's. Used to be the old barbecue joint there in Wellston.
I know where that's at.
I've got several clients now who do functional fitness, which eventually will lead into strongman sometimes. I do, typically when I work somebody out, I do 2 circuits. One is a main circuit, and the other one is an assistant circuit based around the compound movements and conditioning. So we are presenting or going to bring to you Hamden Strongest in Hamden, Ohio this weekend, starting at 10 o'clock.
Now, this is going to be really cool. So, okay, first off, now, strongman, can you explain to our viewers what strongman is, and then we'll get into what they'll see this weekend?
I'm glad you asked. Jen, correct?
Yeah.
See, I've gotten better at logging names as I've become this trainer because, I mean, nothing is more offensive than calling somebody by the wrong name. So I'm logging names, trying to get better at that. But strongman intimidates a lot of people because when I ask you want to go do strongman, it's like, well, I'm not strong. But it's a sport. It's no different than basketball, volleyball, baseball. So you don't start out. Some people do. Some people are freaks of nature, but you don't all.
Yes,
but you don't start out being strongman. But you don't start out being strong and strongman necessarily. It's a sport that you do to make yourself stronger. If that makes any sense. Yeah,
it sure does. And so people go around and compete. Correct.
Correct.
And then I want to know, number one, how you get strong, and we'll talk about that. But what are some of like the strongman events that people would compete in, just so our viewers can get their head wrapped around it?
One of the ways that I like to describe strongman is it's the perfect sport with someone with ADHD. You're looking at somebody with ADHD because it's like, you want me to do what with what? Okay. So pick up sandbags, pick up awkward objects. One of the difference between powerlifting and strongman though is not only do you pick weight up, but you also sometimes have to move it, carry it, pack it, pull it. So for instance, one of
sounds exhausting.
It is, and sometimes the objects aren't overly heavy.
Just awkward.
It's just awkward.
So that caught my idea, carrying awkward objects. So that's one of the things that's advertised as one of the feats of strength you guys are going to do.
Yes.
So I want to know, is this like see how many watermelons you get.
Greased watermelons.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up because I got in trouble last fall at a pumpkin patch. Because of course I've got 2 girls at home. So my 10-year-old daughter, I go, honey, the biggest pumpkin that you can pack out of here, Daddy will buy for you. My wife looks at me and she's like, no. I go, you just need to stop. So then she goes and does it. She carries it up. She has to carry it clear out of the patch, clear up to have it weighed. My wife's like, oh my word, what are we doing? So she picks it up, beautiful, beautiful form, gets those hands down around it, lifts it with her hips, carries it. Daddy's proud. Getting it weighed. Keep in mind, it's 50 cents a pound. My wife's over there fuming. So finally, we set the pumpkin on the scale, and the pumpkin is like 50 cents a pound. That pumpkin ended up costing us like $25. My wife's like, never again. I said, I don't need it ever again. It's a memory that I'll have forever.
There you go. And you taught her right.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I found a picture of you guys weighing that pumpkin.
There it is. She carried that sucker right out of there.
I think it's the one in the middle.
She had to have the white pumpkin, huh?
Right.
The heaviest one. No, so see, you can start early doing this too, huh?
Absolutely.
Because you've trained your girls right.
See, a lot of people believe that it's not for kids, but with kids, what I do is I teach them to move properly. I actually have a 9-year-old that I've been training for over a year now, and I don't have him do maximal lifts, but I teach him how to use his hips properly and how to lift safely. And it's amazing how strong young kids can get as they get coordinated. It's amazing what they can do. And if you think about it, kids are actually sometimes as strong as adults because they're not moving it as far.
Gotcha.
Their leverages and the levers are a little bit different. I don't put so much weight on them that it's going to be detrimental to them, but same way with adults though. You don't say there's 500 pounds there, pick it up. You teach them progressively as they go, and as they get older, hopefully those habits and those skills will grow with them.
So in strongman, how much is actual strength and how much is technique?
100% on both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So equal, probably.
Right. I believe that one of the things that I'm blessed with is just noticing different form, technique. What do I call it? Things you got to think about. The word right now is escaping me, but just knowing where to put your hips. Mm-hmm. Like when I teach deadlift, I say bum down, chest up, push the floor away. And that might not make a lot of sense to you, but after I do that a couple of times, and after I'm in front of the client, that it catches on. Makes sense.
That makes total sense. How did you get started in this?
Well, about 20 years ago, I was doing strength ministry, and there was a gentleman who came to our church by the name of Mitch Hodge, and he was doing feats of strength and preaching the gospel. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. Yeah. And he told me, he said, if you can put on 50 pounds, by the time I come back, I'll put you on stage with me, and we can do this together. So he was a trainer. He was 6th and 7th place Mr. America. He had won Mr. Idaho, but he's at our church sharing the gospel. And I was like, well, yeah. So he gave me a diet, exercise program, and he come back a year later and he goes, oh no, you put on 50 pounds. So I guess I'm gonna have to let you work with me.
You did it.
So then about 5 or 6 years after that, I started traveling with a strength ministry by the name of Stan Strength Team. And 10 years ago, one of the guys challenged me. And he said, if you're going to do strength ministry, don't you think you should at least compete in a strongman competition? I was always afraid of it. I was always intimidated.
Why?
Just because I didn't. Well, one of the issues with strongman is a lot of people don't have the implements to train with.
Okay.
So, like,
Fair.
if you're going, like, at the time, I was working out the YMCA, which is a great facility, but they didn't have a log there.
There's not a lot of big tires to
Right,
throw
there
around
wasn't a
and
lot
kegs
of,
and
right.
stuff.
Wasn't any kegs, wasn't any yokes, wasn't anything to train specifically on.
I have enough kegs for you if you want
Yeah,
to toss
really?
some around.
Do you really?
At the brewery, yeah.
You can hook me up.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
Anyway, I digress.
Awesome. I love
I'll be
you.
happy to have you come around and
Right?
move kegs.
See? So then I go to my first strongman competition, not training on any of the implements. First one was a 750-pound rickshaw. Keep in mind, I didn't even know what a rickshaw was. So it's like this glorified trap bar, 750 pounds. I pulled, and I did not complete the rep. Walked off, disgruntled, discouraged. Tears are about in my eyes. I'm like, I love this stuff, but I'm no good at it. I walked off and almost quit. My cousin, who was with me, chases me down and he says, "Is this what you come for?
Mm-hmm.
To come and give up?" I go. So that struck with me. And then the next event was a 275-pound log. Once again, I never touched the log, but I was able to get the log cleaned, but I didn't have enough energy to get it overhead. Cleaning is when you get it from the ground to your chest.
Okay.
So then I was like, but after I got it cleaned, I didn't have any energy to get it up overhead. But I was like, wow, that's a 275-pound log.
Yeah.
And I got it from ground to shoulders. And then I was seeing other people
Not knowing how to do it whatsoever,
Right.
like at all.
But I was also seeing people that I was competing against failing left and right. So I was like, wow, I'm doing horrible, but I'm learning things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting better as I go. And then the last event was an 800-pound yoke.
Okay.
Rinky dink. Wasn't like the yokes you see now. In my gym, I've got a Madewell yoke, and I'm going to plug Madewell right now. I have a Madewell yoke. I have Madewell farmer handles. I have Madewell a multi-grip bar. Madewell. And I made a commercial for Madewell Strength. Doug Madewell out of Dayton.
Uh-huh.
If it doesn't say Madewell, is it made well? Because he makes really good stuff. He's a professional strongman and a fabricator. So if you need anything, Doug Madewell is your guy. But then I got under that 800-pound yoke. Once again, it wasn't a Doug Madewell yoke. It was flimsy. I remember it intimidating everybody. It was horrible. So I got up underneath it, and I prayed, and I said, Lord, if you want this thing to move, I'll give it everything I got. Tink. I was like, what? We're off the ground with 800 pounds on my back. And then I was like, well, Lord, take me. So I took a step. I'm like, dude, what is going on? I mean, I'm like having this outer body experience. Like, what is going on right now? Step. And finally, I didn't complete that either. But I made half the course. I was done with that. I come over, and the guys looked at me and said, "That's the first time you've ever touched a yoke or got under a yoke?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, He said, "That's unbelievable." But after that time, I got to train at. There's a guy by the name of Steve Slater. If it hadn't been for Steve Slater, though, I don't think this would have stuck. He took me to his gym. He took me to his hardware store in Lancaster, Ohio. It's called Slater's Hardware. He took me. Me and a bunch of guys were training together back in his hardware store. We went into a garage, several stones. Keep in mind, Steve Slater is known around the world for strongman, and I'm like, how in the world do I find myself training with one of the greatest strongman ambassadors of all time?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you watch World's Strongest Man, a lot of times you see Slater's logs on there. So I'm like, this is awesome stuff. So it's just like and then I got to meet Chris Vaccio, which is an Ohio rep for USS Strongman. I got to meet Matt Gary, who is strongman core rep for Ohio, and which I'll actually be here this weekend. I got to meet all these awesome guys and got to be part of the community just by listening to a guy that can challenge me to do a strongman. Because I did that, because I stepped out in faith, because the Lord directed my steps. It just started me off in a really neat. But then after that, I fell away from strongman because once again I went back. I had to train locally. There was no implements to train with.
So you figure, what the heck? Let's do it myself then, right?
Right. I started buying equipment a little bit at a time. First piece of equipment I bought. Okay. So we're talking about carrying awkward objects.
Yes.
We move into this house.
Greased watermelons.
This is probably right. This is probably bad, good for the soul, bad for the reputation. Just keep in mind that it was after this lady moved out. So this lady that lived in the house before us had a headstone in her yard for her deceased husband. So we're like, what
was the
is
husband
that?
in the yard?
No, I didn't find him. I did dig down. So, so the first implement, okay? Stick with me. So the first implement that I get for strongman is I dig this headstone up. I'm like, this is awesome. So then I'm carrying around this. Once again, it wasn't overly heavy, only 180 pounds, but it was awkward. So I'd walk in my yard with it. I mean, there's probably plenty of time that my neighbors look out the window and go, "Hey, honey, come look what he's doing now."
This freak's out here carrying something again.
Right. So then the first piece of equipment that I actually bought was a log, and then I was at the Arnold Classic in Columbus, which is held every year in March.
Yes.
And there was an axle bar, which we'll be using this axle bar this weekend at Hamden Strongest.
Okay.
And this gentleman was selling this equipment at the expo. He come around and he said, "Anybody can pick up these farmer handles, you can have them." And I was like, "I'm not really interested in the farmer handles right now." But I was like, that axle, I'd like to have that axle. And I asked him about it. He goes, $130. So I waited and I waited around, about time to go. And I was like, I really want it, but I don't want to pay $103. I said, I can give you $100 cash. So he goes, deal. So then I'm walking around Columbus, as big as I am, with an axle bar held up over my head. As I'm walking through the streets of Columbus, cars are like,
what is this dude doing?
Right. So.
Oh, he's been to the Arnold again.
Right. So yeah, I mean, it's just a really neat experience. And right now at my gym, once again, Doug Madewell held a strongman competition in Eaton, Ohio, which is about a half hour outside of Dayton.
Okay.
And Dayton, I think the name of the competition is Dayton Strongest.
Yeah.
I took my wife and two other female clients that I trained. And one lady that I trained got first place in her division.
Whoa. Awesome.
My wife took second place out of, I think, 5 ladies in farmer hold.
Cool.
And another lady did well, just had a good day. And the community in strongman, it's just unbelievable. You know, regardless of your political ideologies, your faith, where you come from, in strongman, we all come together and like make this beautiful community.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
There's not a lot of that out there anymore, is there?
There's not. Well, even if you watch World's Strongest Man, some of the biggest names is Eddie Hall and Brian Shaw, Nick Best, Obi. They all come together and they want to beat the snot out of each other, but they want to do it while you're at your best.
Yeah. And they probably help each other do that.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Like Brian Shaw does YouTube videos, and they do like podcasts where similar to you and I sitting down here and talking.
Sure.
And they get together and talk, and they just love on each other, which is which is something you don't see a lot anymore.
No, you certainly don't.
Right.
Well, cool. Well, let's talk about the event going on this weekend. How did it come to be, and what can people, get to see?
Well, I'll take you from the very beginning of this.
Yeah.
2020. Everybody knows where you were, what was going on in 2020.
Yes.
So 2020, the Vinton County, my daughter, which is another reason I'm so avid and excited and want to do as much for the Vinton County drama as I can, because my daughter's been in it since she's been in first grade. She was a little Viking player all through, and now she's a junior, and I'm just touched and blessed that she's been able to be a part of such a great organization.
Mm-hmm.
But in 2020, the budget was spent, all the money was sent out, and during Tech Week, which is the week that leading up to the program, they created a national pandemic, and they said we can't that they couldn't perform. Every budget, every dollar was not able to be brought back in. So I was like, wow, they took a huge hit.
There they are.
But I'm like, drama club, strongman. What do they both have in common? They work hard to create a huge show.
Yeah. When
you think about strongman, they don't call it a competition. They say strongman show. And when the musical happens, it's not a musical. A lot of times you say, are you going to the show this weekend? You don't say, are you going to the musical this weekend? And when you say strongman, it's, are you going to the strongman show? So I was like, I think these two married together would be pretty phenomenal. So last year, I got a hold of our state rep, and I said, can you help me with this? He said, sure, I'll help you with that. He gave me some guidance, direction, brought down implements that I didn't have myself. Didn't take a dime. Matt Gary is phenomenal. Great guy. So last year we did it. I think we had maybe 15, 16 competitors. Forgive me because I don't know, because I don't remember right now. So then we get together and we're like, we got to do this another time. So we looked at the calendar. Things kept coming up, kept overlapping. Excuse me. Until we found this date on the calendar that we both can use. What's neat is not only is the state rep helping me this year, but he's co-hosting, which means he's some of his own ideas, some of my ideas. We're bouncing ideas off of each other. And this Matt gentleman, who I met 10 years ago, once again, has come back into my life so that we can do things together. It's just hard to wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
So this weekend, we're helping with that budget that was completely depleted in 2020.
That did not end in a performance.
Right, absolutely. There was no show.
So sad.
There was no show given.
They were all ready to go. Yeah. Like Jackson was the same way, ready to go. Didn't happen.
Right. So this weekend we're going to put on a show.
That looks heavy.
This weekend we're going to put on a show, and the Vinton County Drama Club will be there also.
Okay.
Selling concessions. I told Joy Henderson, who was the drama leader, I said, this weekend it's supposed to be like high of 37. I said, you get that hot chocolate maker percolating, and I bet we'll sell.
There's quite a bit of hot chocolate being sold.
We'll sell all kinds of hot chocolate.
Yeah.
And they'll have different concessions. Last year it was really neat because Joy Henderson, who was the drama teacher, I got her involved in this, and when I first started messaging her, she's like, sure, okay, whatever. Because she didn't understand what strongman was.
Sure.
She goes, how long could it take for people to lift weights? How exciting is that? So then last year, October 2nd, we get together, she comes, and at the end, she's almost in tears. She was like, I had no clue how dynamic, how awesome, how interesting that strongman can be. So this weekend we're going to have Hamden Strongest. We have 11 divisions.
Okay.
Which means 11 awards up for bid.
Wow.
Depending upon male, female, weight classes. We have a team that's going to compete. We're going to have an adaptive athlete. You know, understand what an adaptive athlete is? It's somebody who is maimed in some way, whether it be, can't walk. Somehow, some way, we have to adapt the competition to meet their needs.
All right.
Which
Cool.
is pretty awesome.
That's
so
really
we've gone
cool.
from like 16, 17 competitors to well over 30 now.
Whoa.
In 11 divisions.
Great.
So if we continue to do this, I think it can just grow from there. And we're taking over Hamden.
Well, let's do it.
Right?
We're going to be carrying stuff all the way through Hamden.
Right? So what's neat is there's going to be people coming from different parts of Ohio, maybe different states, coming into a village that they don't even know where's where's Hamden, Ohio? A little sleepy village with over 30 people competing to be Hamden's strongest. I
love it.
I do believe that the Christmas decorations will be up this weekend too. So they're going into a little sleep. I mean, I think we could turn this into a Hallmark strongman. Like,
I love it. Next Hallmark movie idea. Can you see it now?
Right. Yes. Like they're at home watching around Thanksgiving. Mommy, why are they flipping a tire on the Hallmark Channel? Because we've taken it over.
I love it. That's great.
So,
hey, stranger things have happened on the Hallmark Channel.
Right? Do you remember those beer? I don't know if you're old enough or not, but there'd be those. I think it was Budweiser beer commercials where you take the beer bottle and you slam the TV, and it'd be like bowling and football. So it's like full contact bowling. That's what we're doing.
There you go.
Just mashing it up.
Love it.
So yeah, this weekend we'll have a yoke squat. Yoke kind of comes. I wasn't really able to explain it real well when I was with Matt because it's like. So the bar sits here.
Do we have pictures?
Hey, my man. So
James,
right there,
you go.
So right there is the squat. And if you look at that, that's also the apparatus, or similar to the apparatus that I had 800 pounds on my back, having to walk with it. So
you have to pick that whole thing up and walk with it?
This weekend, we're not walking with it. We're squatting it.
So
depending upon weight class.
That seems terrifying.
Strong man, honey.
Okay, I know.
Strong man. It is terrifying.
It should be.
It's exhilarating.
Okay. You say that. I'll take your word for it.
So that bar that you see that's on the gentleman's back.
Yes.
Will be set this weekend will be set about his belly button. So then he has to crawl up underneath that and squat it.
Oh my.
I'm sorry. So then after he squats it and brings it back down, as it's paused on the floor, we'll add more weight. So if you can see that, if you can look at that yoke there that is loaded to the side, see how the weight plates are on the sides of it? The Madewell yoke, they have posts on each corner of that bottom apparatus there, and we will load it from the bottom. So he'll do the competitor will do a squat, put it on the floor, and then we add more weight.
Oh my gosh!
Squat, put it on the floor, we'll add more weight.
Okay.
So
like, how much weight is on that right there?
Well, can you count the 45s for me?
Count to 45.
How many of those plates can you see? I can't.
1,
Looks
2,
like the 6 on each side.
3,
6,
4, 5, 6. Yes.
So I'm glad you asked. Now I get to teach gym math too, which I think should be a high school elective. So if there's a 45 on one side, there's probably a 45 on the other.
Yes.
Right. What you do to one side, that's
it kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Right. So what you do to one side, you got to do to the other, keep it balanced. So 45 is 90. 9 times 6, is that what you said? 6 of them?
Yes.
So 9 times 6 is 54. So not including the apparatus, there's 540 pounds there.
Okay.
And I'm guessing that apparatus probably weighs close to 200. So what did I say? 740 pounds.
Okay. That's a lot.
So we'll be squatting that apparatus. We're going to have an awkward. We've been talking about moving awkward objects. we'll have an awkward object move, which is kind of neat because we're doing homage.
He's gonna pick you up, Jennifer.
Yeah. Well, I probably
You're
weigh
an
about
awkward-
540
awkward.
pounds right now.
Well,
gotta
that's
get
not
on
what I
that
was saying. I
Mediterranean
was
diet.
implying that
No.
you were an awkward object.
Yeah, if we don't get on the Mediterranean diet, we're all going to die. So
Then I will have to pack you out of
then
here.
you'll have to pack me out of here.
So,
All
so-
540 pounds of me.
so then we're having a crazy amount of odd object carrying.
Okay, so
So I said the gentleman Matt that's in Columbus, who is a state rep for Strongman Corps,
yeah,
and I have kind of mashed together and have created this strongman competition.
okay.
I don't know if it's been said yet, but we will have 7 awkward objects that we got to carry a certain amount of distance.
Can you give a hint of one or two?
So it's,
Because we want it to be a surprise for the people that come. But
I'll just say sandbags,
okay,
natural stones, and I'll give you a hint. We're doing this at the fire department, right? So we gotta keep something to do with the fire department in there. So
well, there's a lot of heavy stuff at the fire department.
right.
So
What could we be carrying or dragging? It could be a drag too. Drag could be in the medley.
A Dalmatian.
No.
I mean, just carrying one of those flipping oxygen tanks that they have to putting on their fire suits is enough. My gosh, those things are so heavy.
I think that'll be our next competition.
Yeah,
You
should-
gotta put on all
on
this
the-
fire
yeah.
equipment gear and then deadlift.
And then, carry.
We'll have
something.
people passing out or dying for sure.
Yeah.
And that we don't want that.
No, we don't want that. Yeah.
So then, awkward medley carry, yoke squat. We just recently released a mystery event. So this competition pays homage to the strongman competition that happened in 1980,
Okay.
which is I believe it's the 1980 World's Strongest Man, which is the same year that Matt was born. So he was like, why don't we do something the year he was born that actually took place? So we're going to do a throw for distance tire. We're going to throw a tire for distance. Just a
Gotcha.
car tire. But I mean, what's neat is in strongman, you have different ideas. You're thinking about, what would be the best style to throw? Would it be like a discus thrower? Would it be, what's the best technique to throw the tire for distance?
Yeah, that's a good question.
So, and then
So you kind of have to think on the fly a little bit
Absolutely.
too, because you don't know what events are going to get thrown
right,
at you.
yes, right.
So you have to think, okay, wait a minute, what's my technique for this? I mean, I'm a strong dude, but like, what's my technique?
So,
Cool.
the people who are the most successful at strongman are not only strong, they're highly intelligent.
That makes sense.
Like Brian Shaw, who is 4 times world's strongest man, and he's in his 40s now, and he's still like one of the best.
Mhm.
It's not only because he's strong and 440 pounds and looks lean at 440 pounds.
Mhm.
It's because he's highly intelligent. He's meticulous. His training mimics, what he needs. It just and to be in strongman as long as he has and not had injuries. That's
Mhm.
another. I mean, he's had some injuries, but
Well, and some of that I would have to think too is just a God-given gift
absolutely
that your body is suited for that.
absolutely, it absolutely is.
Yeah, I could see
Like
that
Eddie
too.
Hall retired from strongman after he won his first strongman competition because his wife said, I can't see you die. Because I mean, he's a little bit shorter than me, but he had to put on so much mass, so much weight to be able to keep up that it wasn't healthy for him.
Yeah,
So he leaned down, took some of that weight off. So yeah, you're absolutely right. So you got to make your body be, or fit what you need to do the
yeah.
competition.
What it works for you.
But I mean, you don't have to do all that for you don't have to do that for just standard strongman. I mean, we're not all going to be world's strongest man. It's just a really neat sport.
yeah.
And
And
then
I would think that are there people that just specialize in like one aspect of the competition? Maybe they lift well, but they don't throw things well, so they can compete in certain things.
that
or
would
is
that
it,
would that wouldn't suit you. That wouldn't really suit you well. I could see that being I could see that being a strategy, but
That's not how it works.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Cool.
Because I mean,
So everybody's kind of doing everything.
right.
Okay.
Right. I mean, so
Awesome.
in powerlifting, you've got bench, squat, and deadlift. But in strongman, like this weekend, I've already we've won over 3 events, and those 3 events are completely different.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the reason it's a show too, because the competition's like, what's going to happen next? Even when you know the events, it's still like, what? It's kind of neat. It's kind of neat because different people have different techniques or ideas on how things should happen.
Sure. It might be an advantage to not go first, huh? To see how
Absolutely.
everybody
so
does.
You're absolutely right
does
because
things.
Sometimes if you do well, you get to go last.
Which is an advantage.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then you're just like, well, if you pulled at 21 feet, and that's the top mark, if I pull at 22 feet, I can shut it down too and save myself a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Just
Not
do
tap
enough
into-
to win.
Right.
Not. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So this is at the Hamden Fire Department. Is that right on the main drag? I'm trying to think where the Hamden Fire Department is.
It's on 160.
Okay.
160 Lake. I believe that's Lake. No, that's not Lake Road.
It's Hamden. It can't be hard to find.
It's 160.
The address is 299 Wilkesville Avenue.
Thank you.
Wilkesville Avenue.
Yeah, Wilkesville Avenue. My problem is I don't pay attention to road signs. I just get there.
You just go.
Right. Gets me in trouble a lot.
I get you. So how do people come to, I mean, obviously you have competitors already knowing that they're coming, but how can people come and watch this? And again, this
Hold
is
on
to
a
benefit.
second. Hold on a second. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
We will also be pulling a 35,000-pound fire truck. We have we didn't nickname it this. The fire department has nicknamed this fire truck Goliath.
Ooh, that sounds really
So
ominous.
if you look, I'm about 6'4", 300 pounds, and if you look at how much bigger this fire truck is than me, it gives you an idea how big this truck is, and it's full of fuel and water.
So how does one pull a fire truck?
There's technique involved,
Okay.
but you just grab that rope, get low as you can, and just go.
Oh my gosh.
It helps.
I don't believe it.
It helps to be tall and have some weight, but I mean, it's not necessary, but it helps.
Okay.
By the way, we'll have that gravel out of the way that I slipped on by Saturday. but I was able to, with my
That's
long
so
arm,
cool.
reach the knot. So yeah. It's
So
much fun.
I just stumbled across a picture online, and I think maybe you guys should consider adapting this into your fire truck pool, since we are getting into the Christmas spirit.
Oh, there you go.
That's hilarious.
Santa.
Because Viking Performance Training Center in Morgantown, West Virginia,
Yeah.
does a Vikings Halloween.
Okay. Oh, look at.
And I dressed up as Santa.
Okay.
You know, I've already got the white beard.
You got that. You
I
got
have
that
a
advantage.
Santa sweatshirt on, and we did Atlas Stone over bar.
Okay.
So I just flying through. I was flying through that Atlas Stone over bar, and somebody in the back goes, "Santa still delivers." I'm like, "Yeah."
That's
He's putting
pretty
his presents down.
Love that. Okay, so you're going to see these guys pull a fire truck, like literally pull a fire truck,
Yeah.
and a whole lot of other stuff too. And okay, so now can I ask how you get tickets?
It's a free event.
It's a free event? So you just come?
Yeah.
Oh, there's the fire department. So you guys are going to put on this show.
That's not Hamden Fire Department.
It's a Hamden Fire
It's
Department.
a Hamden Fire Department, not the
Hamden, Oklahoma.
Is that not? Hold on.
Hamden, Kentucky.
Good old Hamden.
It is a Hamden Fire Department. So you could just come for free.
Yeah.
And this event is when?
It's this Saturday. Get there about 10 o'clock. You might want to get there early because Hamden is not huge.
True
so
that.
we could have some people there.
Definitely.
The Vinton County Drama Club will be selling concessions. There will be a can there that if you want to just do it the old fashioned way and drop money in the can, all the competitors' fees, every dime, penny, or dollar raised this weekend is going directly to the Vinton County Drama Club. Just because I love that organization.
And that's the whole point. Is this is going to be a great show, of course, and the kids will be there out working.
Right.
But the whole point is to help replenish that fund that. They didn't get, they had all of this money that they spent for these plays that didn't get to happen. So therefore they had no income to help replenish their fund. So we need to help these kids help to pay for future performances and things.
Absolutely.
And so it's a really
I
fun
do not
day.
want the Vinton County Drama Club anymore to go, well, if we could afford it. Because I think it's an absolute amazing thing for the kids. We've got athletes of different sports who also go and do drama.
Sure.
Drama pulls from a wide range of people, and
So-
then there's kids behind the scenes that are working, make sure stage production.
Yeah, it's really funny that you mentioned that because we had the Viking players via kind of like a Zoom deal on the show. And I thought one of the most interesting things that every single one of them said was that they all come from different walks of life, but drama has brought them together and brought friendships that they probably would have never had otherwise. And some of their best friends aren't on the football team with them.
Right.
They're in drama with them or cheerleading with them or whatever it is that they're doing. And drama has kind of the glue that's held the whole, thing together. And so I just, and so many of them said that in the interview. And I was like, I love that they noticed that. I'm a football player, so I'm not going to hang out with, somebody else, or I'm a cheerleader.
Yeah, it's a great unity maker.
Yeah, it certainly is. And, you have such creative talent there, and they just come together, and it's just good.
And
So good.
I would think that drama would also help with athletic performance.
Yeah.
Because all drama is not all drama is, but drama is training for your brain.
Sure.
You got to memorize all those lines.
Yeah.
You got to remember those songs. And a lot of I don't know how many athletes can be athletic at home when they're not in front of other people.
They're
But if you learn to perform on
Yes.
stage, you can do anything on an athletic field.
you're
in front
not
of
so
people.
nervous in front
Right.
of humans, and that there is something to be said for
Absolutely.
that. For sure. So, all right. Well, this is so cool. And it's going to be so fun this coming Saturday.
I think I got the right fire.
Hey, there you go.
It is. Good job, James.
We went from Oklahoma to Ohio.
Hey, no, they were
6
that
seconds.
one was in Ohio too.
Was it?
Yeah.
We have a Hamden township, probably.
Yeah, probably. But hey, my
Hey,
bad.
there's 2 Jackson, Ohio, so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
fine.
What on earth are people thinking?
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
Only in Ohio do you have 2 towns named the same.
The Hamden. I'm just gonna throw some shade at the Hamden Fire Department. It doesn't look like they've updated their website since like 1998. It's real
For
rough.
shame.
It's real rough looking.
I can't.
I'll tell you what,
I
call
can't
James
defeat- I
Hamilton.
can't
He will
defend that. I
help
can't
you
defend
with
that.
It's got a lot of gifts on it.
James will help you out with that. If you just give us a call here at Total Media, you will be
Oh.
professional in no
I
time.
might be the first person that's looked at it since 2005.
All right. So donations accepted. And that is all 100% of this stuff is going to help the Viking players. And that's the whole point, right? To help the kids. But you are going to have a couple door prizes.
Oh, thanks for bringing that up. Yes.
Who doesn't like to win free stuff?
Right, absolutely. So for showing up, we'll have somebody sitting at the door. I say that, but there is no door. So we'll have someone sitting somewhere to take your name and win $100. 2 lucky people will win $100.
That's exactly right. And and all you have to do is show up.
Show
So
up and show out.
no
You got to
one
cheer real loud though when they're
You-
pulling those fire trucks. Strongman competitors feed off energy.
Yes. Got to do that. So here's the deal. Just as a reminder, I don't know what the temperature is going to be on Saturday, but it's going to be cold.
My wife said God can change anything. She's praying that he gives us a couple of degrees.
A couple of degrees here. We'll hold up for that. But so
but
most
we are
of
the
this
Benton County
competition-
Vikings,
That's true.
and Vikings come from the land of ice and snow.
That is true. So, you're used to it. But the main thing is a lot of these events will be held outside. So bring your hats and your coats and all that stuff. Be prepared to be outside a little bit. And I know they do have some heaters and stuff like that outside. But
Well, actually, my wife, who thinks of everything, I'm kind of like the fire starter. I put the gasoline down, light the match, and then I run. And it's like, and then everybody comes in and goes, "Okay, we've caught now we got to kind of control this fire." I'm the fire starter.
Thank God you're at the fire department.
Right. I'm the fire starter. My wife is the fire controller, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
She has rounded up 3 huge propane patio heaters.
Perfect.
So we will have some warming stations. Hopefully you can sneak inside the fire department, maybe warm up a little bit. But yeah, for the most part, it will be outside and dress appropriately. Several months ago, when we first got this started, the Matt from our state rep said, "This is going to be an outdoor event. Dress appropriately." And his wife said, "Yeah, that could either be a bikini in Ohio, or it could be a winter parka."
I mean, you and I were talking off the air. We had our Pups on the Patio event at the brewery 2 Saturdays ago. It was 85 degrees. I had a tank top and shorts on. And then last weekend and this weekend are cold.
We were blessed and spoiled.
No sense whatsoever.
Right.
It's Ohio, man.
It is.
It is. But that's okay. So Temple Fitness, your gym, bringing this to Hamden, and thank you for that.
We
to
do
help the
have
Viking players.
other sponsors as well, which is on the back of my shirt, and this is the shirt for the event. Can they see it?
I think so. There you go.
And
What a
then
good
the
model.
Sponsors. Can you see those?
I think so. Some of them. If you turn this way, I can. Okay. Strongman Corporation, the Hamden Volunteer Fire Department, Pro Tree Services, LLC, Stars Auto Body, Red Spin, Ohio Valley Strongman Club, Gym Bookkeeping, and Renovation Life Church of God.
Renovate Live Church.
Renovate. And then that's the one in the middle. I can't read it. My eyes suck. Buckeye something.
Buckeye Bounce.
Buckeye Bounce. Inflatables.
Yep.
Okay. So all of those. So thank you to all of those guys.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Without you guys, we wouldn't have the event we're going to have this weekend. So you guys are greatly appreciated.
Very cool.
Thank you for reading those. I was
Hey,
afraid,
I'm here for you.
I was afraid if I used my memory, I'd miss somebody.
You forget it.
Right.
So, just a question about your gym in particular, because you are bringing this to the area, so I think it's fair enough to give you a good shout out.
Thank you.
If you want to come to Temple Fitness and don't want to compete in strongman, is that okay too?
Absolutely. We have several. I
just want to get in shape.
I call them pre-competers. Because, I mean, they don't know it yet, but eventually they will be competing. But no, absolutely. They can definitely train without competing. Like I said, I'm training a 9-year-old who I started with him when he was 8, clear up through, I've got an 80-year-old gentleman in my gym.
Very good.
So.
And why is it important to make sure, not necessarily even to be competing in strongman, but it's very important to just keep your body strong.
Well, one of the things is Temple Fitness, where that came from is, do you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit? So if you're a believer and you believe in Jesus Christ, we should take care of the most important gift that He's given us, which is our tent, which is our bodies, which is our, that's what we proclaim the gospel with. That's what we bless others with. So I mean, if you're not taking care of yourself, how can you help others?
I think that's a very good question, and I think a lot of us forget that along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, one of the biggest investments is your body, because I mean, if your body's broken down, you're not going to be there for anybody else either. But I mean, and then that I guess that's my fundamental truth. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, athletics is fun. I mean, you get
speak for yourself.
Get to meet people.
I'd rather sit on the couch and watch Netflix, but
right. I mean, no. You got a spin bike you can put in front of your TV, though. I mean,
well, no, that's what I do. I get on the elliptical and stuff and watch TV.
I do it.
Right. Hey, it's something.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
It's so right. Like, I mean, so even if you're like watching TV at home, get like freeze 2 water bottles and like do some curls for the girls, man. Like, just
do something.
Yeah, you're sitting on the couch. Oh well. Just
but
do something.
I don't think there's an excuse, because I mean, our basic membership at Temple Fitness is $25.
Okay. A month, okay.
Silver, which is the next package up. The first package I just told you about was bronze, just gym access.
Okay.
The next level up is silver, and I'm not only am I a strongman competitor, strongman coach, and promoter, but I'm also certified. I'm in the county. I believe I'm one of, if not the only, certified strength and conditioning coach. So I've actually got my certification in strength and conditioning.
Okay.
I'm a certified fitness trainer, and I don't know how to do this stuff yet. Maybe this gentleman over here can help me. It seems like he's kind of good with computers. I'm also certified to do online training.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't believe I'm at the stage of my career yet where I'll do a lot of online, but I've got several certifications. So for $45 a month, you can have two training sessions with me a week. And then for $75 a month, you get all that. You get everything that's included in the bronze and silver, but you also get nutritional coaching.
Wow, so, that sounds fantastic.
I don't tell you what to eat, but I'm kind of that nagging voice inside you going, "Did you really eat that?
Did you fuel your body today?"
Right.
Yeah. Your body is a temple. Remember that.
So I mean, I believe those prices are pretty
I think those are very good prices. Yeah, for sure. So, if you're interested, how do people get a hold of you?
Temple Fitness on Facebook. If you're listening to this and if you'd go and like Temple Fitness, that would be phenomenal. www.templefitness.net is another way. And then Ralph Henneman on Facebook. You can hit me up. Just stop by. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The gym. I'm sure you're there quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm there Monday through Thursday, about 8:30 to 5:30 most days.
Okay.
And usually I'm working with a client, but I mean, if you want to come in and work too, and I can give you detailed workout, things that I'd like for you to do, we'll plug you in, get you going.
What would you say to someone like Jen here who doesn't really know her way around a gym and might be intimidated to walk into a gym where you feel like people are strong and there's a lot of, strong men running around?
Well, I've done a couple of things to combat that. Mm-hmm. For one, I don't have a mirror in the gym. As soon as ladies come into a gym and they see a mirror, a lot of them have poor self-body images. No matter how beautiful or how good they look, as soon as they see that
mirrors
image,
are horrible.
Yeah, that's what most ladies say. So then, I don't believe that they're intimidated by other people. I think it's a reflection that they're
100%. I would agree with that.
I was under the impression that you weren't able to lift weights unless you were looking at yourself in the mirror constantly while you do it.
Right. Or
grunting really loud.
Or Instagram, Facebook.
Yes. Or yes.
Right.
Don't come in looking pretty either, dang it.
And then another, and
With your hair flowing.
I've been working with a lady in particular, and she said, "You never asked me what I weigh. You never asked me to step on a scale."
Okay, so that I hate that. It is so embarrassing, and you start defeated. You literally start defeated
I
when
believe
somebody
that
puts you on
ladies
a
who get
scale.
on the scale stress out, and
100%.
and their cortisol levels cause them to weigh more than they actually do, because cortisol is
It's
inflammation. Inflammation is water.
horrible.
You're retaining water at that point because you're overly stressed about what you weigh.
If I could never get on a scale ever again, it's like, do you feel like you look good or not? Like, who cares what you
Well,
weigh?
I don't even care about the look. What I do is I bring you in and I do a movement assessment. And I get you moving properly.
Mhm.
Whether you're using kettlebells, I teach you how to step up properly.
Mhm.
I'll give you a quick story real quick. I'm training right now a couple of volleyball players from Oak Hill. They're in 8th grade, getting ready to go to 9th grade next year.
Okay.
They want some strength and conditioning work. So I taught them how to do kettlebell swings correctly, taught them how to squat correctly, taught them how to do step ups correctly. And then that yoke I showed you,
Yeah.
there is an option to take the yoke all the way up, probably even taller than what I am. And most ladies, especially, are quite a bit shorter than me. I put one of them on one side of the yoke, and I put one of them on the other. And all of a sudden now we're doing strongman volleyball. So they took a 40-pound medicine ball and picked it up and threw it over to the other one. And as soon as I showed them what we were going to do, they just looked at me perplexed, like, I can't even pick that up off the floor.
Yeah.
First couple of times they struggled.
Yeah.
But after they learned how to position their bodies
The
to get the
technique.
ball over, it was easy by the end. So
Really?
what I did is I set a 10-minute timer, and even though they were more tired in those 10 minutes, they had taught themselves how to move properly, move more efficiently.
Great.
And now, and that was just the first session. So then, after we work with that, they're going to be able to get up to the net a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
So-
That little lightweight volleyball seemed real easy to get over the
right.
net.
So they learned. So
Good.
So I don't. A lot of times I don't even have a set workout to do with you. I just kind of look at you, know what you need for that. And I promise you, I've got clients that I've been working with for every year. They've never done the same workout twice. That's another thing that I do with you. It's like you never know what you're going to do when you come to the gym, so that you keep your mind
And you're not bored.
right.
Because that's another thing. It's like, you shouldn't dread going to the gym.
Right.
Should be fun.
So,
Be a good
like, most of the time I keep the compound movements the same, but 1 minute we might be doing kettlebell swings, we might be doing jump rope, we might be doing planks, we might be doing, but it's always
Gotcha.
changing it up.
Very cool. So get a hold of him. Free plug for Temple Fitness
Thank you.
in
Appreciate
Wellston. And if you're driving in from the Jackson area, it's on the right-hand side, just as soon as you get into Wellston. Well, into the town anyway. Past the red light. Is it past the red? No, it's not past the red light.
You've lost me. I'm sorry.
Is there a red light? There
In
where you-
Hamden?
in Wellston, where your
In
gym
Wellston?
is.
Yes. Yes, there's a red light right there by it. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. Right across the street from that car wash that's been there for
Yeah.
several years.
Yeah. All right. So, strongman competition, Hamden's Strongest, this coming Saturday, 10 a.m. at the Hamden Volunteer Fire Department, is going to be so much fun.
Free event? I mean,
Free event.
What excuse do you have?
Buy some hot chocolate, help the Viking players out, and that's the whole point, is helping the kids.
Absolutely.
So that's what we're
It'll
here
be
for.
a great time. Just bring something to keep yourself warm and go strong, man.
There you go. And let's go over the weather real quick before we get out of here for the day. So today is Thursday, and yeah, that high of 38, a balmy 38 degrees, 26 overnight. Tomorrow, even worse, with maybe some sunshine in the forecast, highs of 35, lows of 18. Then on Saturday, hey, it looks like you're going to have some sunshine for your event. Highs of 37, lows of 17.
Let's pray it to 40 if we can.
Yeah, that would be great. Beginning of your work week looks like temperatures coming back up into the high 40s, low 50s. So That would be a little bit better than 30, but hey, we do what we do. Absolutely. That's right. We adjust. It's Ohio. Just get used to it. So, all right. Well, thanks, Ralph, for spending the morning with us. We greatly appreciate it. And
have to do it again sometime.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So have a great day, everyone. And we'll be back with tomorrow with a very, very special guest, an artiste, and she'll be talking about a calendar that she made. So we'll see you then. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
This just in.
The Telegram News has a new website.
TheTelegramNews.com.
Same dedicated coverage.
Same trustworthy news with a brand new look.
Covering Jackson and Benton counties and surrounding areas.
Locally owned and operated, TheTelegramNews.com has its finger on the pulse of the community.
Stay up to date on local events, high school sports, and breaking news.
TheTelegramNews.com.
Subscribe today at TheTelegramNews.com.
Check it out.